If we told you that a tweet can be sold for nearly $3 million, would you believe it? Well, we'll save you the trouble of thinking because one already did. Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, had his first tweet auctioned off for US $2.9 million on the 23rd of March 2021. As ridiculous as it sounds, since then, more digital assets coined as NFTs have been transacted for even crazier prices. But what exactly are NFTs? NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, are digital tokens that exist on a blockchain and each one represents a unique item. NFTs can be photos, videos, audio, etc., and cannot be interchanged with something else. In simpler terms, a blockchain can be seen as a printed receipt and an NFT as a serial number or barcode that represents one unique existence that has been bought.
When you create an NFT for these assets, what I've essentially done is make it a real digital asset where instead of being on somebody's computers, it is now living on the internet as a whole because it lives on a blockchain. So this is very different from me sending you a photo because nobody can really prove that I was the one that sent to you. You could have been the original creator, right? And nobody can prove like when I sent it to you, whether I sent it to 1,000 people instead of one person. Whereas on blockchain, I can prove that it is definitely me sending to you, and there's only one copy.
What does it mean to own an NFT then? Owning an NFT is linking your name to a digital asset, or in other words, having a virtual certificate of authenticity to a digital asset, much like that piece of paper you get when purchasing a luxury item. If we use the receipt analogy, your name would be shown under the unique serial number.
Buying an NFT only means you own an NFT. It doesn't mean that you own any sort of rights, be it like commercial rights, copyright reproducing. You can't do any of those things with the art. Like, all it means is that you own a copy of it, or you own this piece of art. However, I think it is actually this way because it was not explicitly written in the NFTs, right? Like the artists, when they minted it, they didn't explicitly say, most of them don't explicitly say whether this gives you commercial rights or not.
It's like owning a signed Michael Jackson album. The physical album may belong to you, but MJ and his label still own the copyright to music and artwork in the album. So, anything online is an NFT?
Yes, actually. Anything that can be digitized can be an NFT. It's just because basically the NFT, the Ethereum or NFT non-fungible tokens technology, it's just a technology that you can use to do whatever you want to ensure transparency and authenticity. So NFT artworks is just one part of it, but you can do contracts, anything that requires this legit way of transferring, making sure that people don't get fraud or anything,
Okay, so what's the big deal with NFTs? Well, it's not just Jack Dorsey's 5-word tweet that sold for a high price. Many other NFTs have gained notoriety for their insane prices. Paypal's Everyday's The First 5,000 Days sold for US $69.3 million. CryptoPunk #3100 sold for US $7.58 million. Crypto artist Parks The Pixel sold for US $1.36 million. The rise of NFTs opened more paths for digital artists to expand both their mediums in art and their income sources.
I think NFT actually really encourages collaboration between creators from different industries. For me, I've collaborated with musicians and artists from around the world, and then it becomes easy for us to collaborate because everything's transparent on OpenSea. So it becomes very easy, and it just removes any discomfort when it comes to the ownership of the work. So that once there, you can just split the cost or whatever profit that's already been purchased and then you just split it accordingly. So
NFTs may also usher in new modes of marketing and advertising, as even large corporations like IBM, NBA, and Nike are exploring NFTs, which gives a boost to NFTs' further adoption. Capitalism, you know. If a banana can be monetized, it will. So are NFTs a viable mode of investment? Like with any other asset that can be invested in, stocks, artworks, property, an NFT's value depends heavily on its social value and demand, even more than traditional forms of collectibles, as it is currently an unsupervised market. What we can say for now, however, is that the presence of NFTs is a testament to the rise of significance of the digital world and its assets in our lives. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and push the notification button for more content from The Simple Sound.